Hunt Showdown is currently in closed alpha. My name is Mike Williams. I'm joined by Liam McKelvey and Jake Kulkowski to talk about this very game. Developed and published by Crytek. It's a game about shooting and the darkness, horror.
Hunts and showdowns.
Hunts and showdowns. Hunting the showdown, maybe. You're just hunting a showdown, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want a showdown, you're out, you're on the hunt.
You go out on the prowl.
For a showdown. That's what I'm getting from this title.
Well, let's tell you a little bit more about that.
Please do.
Hunt Showdown is a game developed by Crytek and revolves heavily around the hunting of giant monsters. Although there's a little bit of
they're not really giant though. They're not. They're kind of.
No.
Excuse me. Have you ever seen a spider that big?
Touche.
Right, thanks very much. Okay, so basically you've got to hunt these monsters. Now, when I say giant, I mean in scale to their normal relative counterparts.
To what you would expect of the proportions of a spider. It is big.
It's a team-based game. From what I played in the closed alpha and from what Liam played in the closed alpha, there was teams of 2. So I don't know if
you can play solo if you do so wish.
Yeah, exactly. So teams of 2 or solo, no matter what happens, it'll be you and either 3 other players if you're playing solo, or 3 other teams of 2 if you're playing in teams. These are PvP matches essentially, where you're racing to find, kill, banish, and then fuck off with the body of the monster.
It's a mix of PvE and PvP.
Yeah, in one world at a time. So it's not an open world seamless experience. They're like level-based shenanigans. And that's kind of your brief overview to get things kicked off.
Very well done, fellas. So this, like I said, this is currently an alpha, so this is a closed alpha. There were sign-ups open for it, but that has finished. So the sign-ups link now takes you to a sign-up for the newsletter, which is a bit less exciting, if you don't mind my saying, Crytek. So there's currently no release date for the game. It was first announced actually back in June 2014 as Hunt Horrors of the Gilded Age, which is a much worse name, I think. And Hunt Showdown is a classic. I don't know. Well, if
they took the hunt off and maybe just called it Horrors
of the Gilded Age, it sounds like a great short story. I would read that. But developed by Crytek USA. I think that's what the studio is or was or something. Something's happened there.
They're now defunct, I think.
That's it, yeah. So Crytek have gone through a lot of restructuring in recent years. They've had a lot of financial troubles and they ended up closing some studios. So this development was taken into the main kind of Crytek HQ house. So they're working on it now. So it was kind of re-announced in May of 2017 as Hunt Showdown. It was a complete re-reveal, really.
Yeah, it was.
Because things have gone quiet on it for a little while. So it is a first-person shooter with a focus on co-op, hybrid PvP and PvE, as you guys already said. Strong horror themes. It does remind me of Resident Evil 7 a lot.
It's got that survival horror vibe to it.
The weird matted texture.
Muddy brown.
The swampy like areas and the bayou and stuff like that.
The setting is exactly
very limited, like resources and ammo and stuff like that as well. You've got to like each shot has to make it count, sort of thing.
Yeah, so players kind of take on the role of a secret hunting society that tracks and kills monsters, but also each other for some reason. The game is actually a kind of a spiritual successor to the action RPG Darksiders. Did you know that, fellas?
What?
It is.
I remember that fact,
but only in kind of theme and tone and lore and stuff.
Right,
obviously not in gameplay because it's totally different, isn't it? So, what are your thoughts? Like, what are your first thoughts on the game? You've kind of explained what it is. Did you have fun playing it? You've both played quite a bit of the alpha.
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit actually. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did.
Yeah,
really gets that feeling of tension that you don't get from many multiplayer games. You know, like it's sort of reminded me of like Battlegrounds when you get to like the last 2 alive, except you've got that sort of tension throughout the entire game because you're trying to hunt a monster and at any moment you could get hit by the mobs in the world, which are just like NPC enemies, or you could get like taken out by another player. And there's always like this sort of like paranoia to it. Always looking over your shoulder whilst trying to like hunt this giant mythical monster.
You said there that it kind of reminds you of Battlegrounds, and I just want to derail this conversation entirely for a second to come at you with a hot take. Battlegrounds is the new Dark Souls, okay? In that, it is the Dark Souls of Dark Souls references, because it's going to be every game is kind of like Battlegrounds, but you're totally right, Liam. You're totally right because Battlegrounds has set this kind of this setup so well and clearly defined. It's got everything in it, and like the gunshots in the game. There's like gunshots in the distance in this in Hunt Showdown. feels exactly like Battlegrounds. Sounds like Battlegrounds. It feels like exactly the same sensation. Who's that? Who's shooting? Where's that shooting come from?
There's a lot
Are
of
they
focus
shooting at
on
me?
Yeah, it's like a big focus on the audio.
Yeah,
you've got to pay attention. Like you can hear the footsteps, and you're like, is that a player? Is that an enemy, or is it just like a tree blowing in the wind sort of thing?
And it's a pretty open map, and you could get rolled up on at any point by another player or players, and could get killed no matter what you're doing, which you have learned to frustrating.
Happened to both of us.
Much like Battlegrounds, you get 25 minutes into a game and get shot in the face, one shot from an unknown location, and go, oh, that's that then.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, Battlegrounds has set these things up just like Dark Souls did. Some basic gameplay rules. Every game that comes out after that is kind of like Dark Souls. This is Battlegrounds is it. It's doing it again.
But if you've not already, spent some time writing a comment about this in particular, just hear us out, This is what we're saying about Battlegrounds. It's got that, like Liam saying, that over-the-shoulder vibe where you've got a main focus, and a lot of the time you're scrambling. Beginning of Battlegrounds, you scramble to get your equipment, don't you? At the beginning of this, you're scrambling to get clues to find the monster's whereabouts in the map.
So tell us about that. What are the clues doing? What are your
all right, so you've got a map. I'm not sure how many map or levels are going to be in full release of the game, but in this alpha, you've got one map.
Which you can play night or day, right?
Night or day, that's it. And you can hunt either a giant, like, deformed man called the Butcher or a giant spider. And the spider can be in any one of the, I think it's either 12 or 15 locations.
Okay.
They're scattered all around the map. There's like churches, I was going to say churches, chapels, other godly
various religious buildings,
graveyards,
slaughterhouses, all that.
And it could be anywhere. So you're all scrambling to find out which one of these the enemies hold itself up in.
Yeah.
Clues kind of cut the map in half for you.
They narrow it down.
Yeah, you can get up to 3 clues. The first clue will show you which half of the map, north, south, or it'll do an east-west divide. Then it'll get another clue, and it'll highlight which quarter. You get another clue, and then it will just full on tell you exactly where.
Pinpoint the location.
Exactly. Now, as far as I'm aware, when a team has got 1 clue or 2 clues, let's say 2 clues, there's only 1 clue left for another team to get. After that, all 3 clues are taken. Yeah. Although that hasn't been confirmed by me. It's just the way that the wording is and the way that everyone was scrambling to the same locations in my experience playing it.
Yeah, the wording is that your team has got the clue. Yeah. Which implies that it's a shared clue that everyone is fighting to get to first, right? It's a race to get to.
So it gives you like a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, and it also gives you experience. You earn experience for pretty much everything. While you're doing that though, especially me, I become very, tunnel visioned, and that's when I get reminded of Battlegrounds, because I'm shitting myself thinking, what was that noise? What was that noise? And then you can see a guy in the distance, and it turns out to just be a tree. Yeah. So it's like that. So you've got this task at the beginning, or you could just aimlessly walk around these different areas looking for the spider.
Which I guess you kind of have to do if you don't get the clues. What are you doing? You're just
left wandering.
To stumble across it. Either that, or wait till the player has taken down the monster, or you hear gunshots from the fight with the monster or something, then you can go there and try and take part yourself. Or when the player does, if someone's got the clues, they found the monster, they're killing the monster dies, then it's about, what do you do then? It's
banishing.
So whichever team or player takes down the monster, they can do a thing like the banishing ritual,
where you just teabag the monster.
Pretty much, you've got to defend your position while this
by sitting right on him, right?
Pretty it's up to you. You can hide around a corner, you can sit right.
Oh right, okay. So the way you told me about this earlier, I thought that you had to literally stand on his dead.
No, it's a very close proximity.
Yeah, as long as you're within a certain distance, this ritual will keep carrying on. But anyway, it's you've got to defend your territory sort of thing. And when this is happening, every player on the map can see where this is happening.
Like a flare's gone up metaphorically, and they're all kind of running.
So they can all just flock to your position. And they can, once the ritual's completed, you have to collect the thing off the body called the bounty. Yeah. And then once you've got the bounty, you have to escape with it to designated extraction points. Yeah. But at any time, players can see you once you've got the bounty, and they can try and take it off you and steal it from you. Just try and ambush you, and it's sort of like a cat and mouse game. You've got to escape before they find you, sort of thing.
It kind of, so what this game does is take something like Evolve, which remember no one played, where there's you maybe a team if you want, you're taking down a monster, but except it's thrown in that competitive element. So there's other hunters who are trying to take it down. That's the big important thing. Do you think that works? Do you think this formula works? Because it's quite a new formula, or at least it's a meshing of different ideas that we haven't really seen before.
Yeah, I think that because the map is like quite big, and you could aimlessly be wandering around. What happens if your team happens to be on the southeast corner of the map, and another team's in the northwest, and the first place they go into, the spider's there, right? They are going to kill the spider, but that banishing ritual and the fact that you can snipe them when they're running away to the extraction point with the bounty or whatever gives you an opportunity to score your own points. Everything you do, like I was saying, you get points for. So in an ideal world, your team would find all the clues, kill the monster, banish the monster, get the bounty, and escape, and then you'd get the most experience which you level up with. But what it does then to provide a bit of chance for other teams to get involved if they've missed the mark. So it is they give you an opportunity to score points through killing the players that are doing the banishing ritual, or just what happened to Liam when I was watching him was he did pretty much all the hard work, killed the monster, banished the monster, got the bounty, was running to the extraction point.
Some guy in a hedge hid there, shotgun, one-shotted me.
One shot,
like a hero. That's like sounds
nowhere.
like a western or something like that. Killed by the cowards right at the end.
It was like the assassination of Jesse James. Exactly. If you've ever seen that movie, which is great.
I have.
Yeah, and he killed Liam. He would have then got points for killing Liam, got points for picking up the bounty, and then he would have made it right to the exit and got points for that.
I can only hope someone got him. That's all I can hope for.
Or a dog or something. But he
the law.
Liam got more points through what he did, though. Although when you die, you only get half the points than if you survived the whole map.
There's elements of permadeath to it as well, with the recruiting hunters.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us about this then, Liam. It's kind of a cast of different hunters, and they've got they all look different, but they've got different names and stuff.
Before you begin a match, it gives you a selection of 4 hunters, or you can like re-roll them if you want, if you don't like
to get another 4.
To get another hunter, and they've all got like varying levels of health, different weapons, different equipment, different like stat bonuses and stuff like that. And you choose one, you have to spend like the in-game currency on it, which is not microtransactions or anything, just I know there's a confusion about it, but you like use your in-game money on it, recruit it, and this is the hunter you play as. But that hunter is like a one and done situation. So if you die in a game, that hunter's gone. Any rank you had with it is gone. But that is separated from your overall it's called the bloodline level, which is more like your COD style progression system where you unlock weapons and equipment you can get, stuff like that.
So there is permanence to the equipment, but not the actual character that you get to use.
So if you happen to end up on like a lucky streak, you can end up with a very high rank hunter who will have better abilities, better stats. But if you lose that hunter, it's gone. You have to start with another hunter.
Like Altered Carbon, just using up the sleeve, get another one.
Different sleeve.
Kind of.
Because the thing with the hunters is they've all got like a passive ability, which is quite randomized. So some can like dual wield rifles, some of them can sprint longer and whatever. But yeah, like Liam saying, when you level them up, your passive ability gets better, and I think your proficiency with weapons can get better and stuff like that as well. But it's got that cool element of oh no, I've lost my guy, like the XCOM Rogue Darkest Dungeon sort of thing, where you can kind of grow attached. And maybe you don't, so maybe you've done a mission with, let's say, your guy's called John. You've done a mission, John's level 5, and you're playing with a mate who you don't know how good he is. You don't want to risk using old John, so you put Peter on instead. And if Peter dies, no skin off your back because you got John still. But you might, you know what I mean? You're going to have to kind of figure that out. So there's a little bit of football manager-esque.
Bit of risk reward going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got a better chance of winning probably, but it can be taken away at a moment's notice.
Benches.
It's like XCOM is what it sounds like to me.
It's like when you get that one really good soldier, but then he dies in a mission, and you're
emotionally broken for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I think my favourite thing about it, based on the fact that I didn't play it, but I did watch you guys playing it quite a bit while I was preparing for this, it's got really good lighting. It looks very nice for a game that's in closed alpha. It is janky and stuff. There's some basic placeholder stuff. Like the weapon in the hand looks very stiff and lacking in animation. Feels like a placeholder thing for now, but it's fine. The textures are good in it and stuff. But yeah, the lighting is absolutely wonderful. The difference literally between night and day is very drastic, completely different feel to the game, as it totally should be. And so the lighting at night especially is very nice, but there's some really nice lighting there. Great sound design.
When you start the game up, it says play this game in headphones because it's got 3D binaural audio, which the only other game
is the best kind of binaural audio. I think
the only other game I've seen that boasts that was Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which got.
So I was being sarcastic there, but that game did sound great. So
exactly. So sit down. There you go. We're totally right, mate. Binaural audio is like the new buzzword of sound design, isn't it? Because it can like affect your brain. It's stuff to increase fear with sound waves. And
Positional.
That's what you want to hear, isn't it? It can affect your brain. Great, sign me up, please. Can't wait.
And so like I'm saying, Hellblade did it. And this game's offering the same experience. And we've all said separately before we spoke about it together, the sound design is one of our favourite parts.
It's really very good.
Cool.
So overall, it's kind of pleasantly surprised, I'd say, based on your guys' reaction. Like you enjoyed it probably a bit more than you were actually expecting to. But you do have some problems, right? It's a little bit unstable, and especially the wait times, right?
Yeah, matchmaking was it's not great, to say the least. I think we were both waiting, upwards of 5-10 minutes waiting for a match.
Yeah, closer
we
to
had
10.
long conversations about a variety of topics before Liam got into a game.
I had a coffee break.
Yeah.
Like, in the time it managed to start the game and find a match, I managed to have a cup of coffee, have it cool down, and drink the entire thing before I even got into a match.
I mean, it is a long time. And there's multiple screens as the from me looking from a distance, it looks so annoying. Like, you're staring at your character for ages, you're staring at a map for ages, you're staring at a black screen with the words waiting for ages. When you're in the game, you're just standing still for ages waiting for the other players to load up. It's not great, but, again, it is an alpha. So hopefully they can iron that sort of stuff out, but it is worth noting, I guess, that it was a very long time.
I think they've done some cool stuff inside the alpha menus, like they've given the option to provide feedback inside the client, and things like that. So it's not just like we're going to give you a demo and our excuse for it being janky and shit is it's an alpha. Like, it looks like they are genuinely looking for feedback, and it's as easy as a couple of clicks to.
A closed alpha is the most sincere form of test for me, because it's like it doesn't feel like a hype building thing, because I don't feel like there's loads of conversation around this or anything. It's like you're just inviting a select group of players in for free to test it out. They're not committed to pre-orders or anything like that. They can just they're just signed up and away they go, kind of thing. There was some bugs as well. You guys said that it's just a little bit of jank, and I actually saw a few of them that were quite dramatic. Yeah,
like I shot someone and it didn't register, which is the ultimate.
Although I did see that live with my own eyes, and there was at least twice that you completely square over the torso, and it just didn't.
Luckily,
with a shotgun.
I didn't encounter that. Luckily, I did have the funny one of shooting a guy with a shotgun and his character ragdolled across the room. That was very comical. It was mostly animation issues. I was running into like enemies sort of like gliding across the floor, stuff like that. But luckily I didn't encounter stuff like shots not registering and stuff like that.
It was just little things that kind of irk me about like the aiming in general. Like, you can't quite aim down the sights.
It's very arcadey, the gunplay.
It is. It reminds me almost like Left 4 Dead a bit.
I think that was the vibe they're going for as well. Like, it was definitely a bit of Left 4 Dead influence in it.
The way you can see the outline of, it's a very simple thing, but the way you can see the blue outline of your teammate through walls is very Left 4 Dead, because you can see like a white outline of your teammates there. It's a very, very simple thing, but it's just, it just because of the type of game it is, the zombies everywhere, the co-op kind of experience, it does feel very Left 4 Dead for sure. So what are your guys' overall thoughts before we finish this video up then? Based on the alpha, are you likely to want to play some more? If there's another test of some kind, are you going to keep your eye on how things go in the future?
I'm definitely looking forward to if there's like an open beta or another test.
Play some more of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, like, once it's got a bit of polish on it, it could be a very good co-op game. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
What about you, Jake?
This is one that in the podcast and things like people have been asking me, like, what games am I looking forward to this year? And even as far as like E3 last year, I was saying this one looks promising. After playing it, I'm thinking, this is still on par to be still on course, should I say. Got my golf golf words wrong there.
It's all right, mate.
It still looks like it could be a decent one, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the other maps are and things like that. I think it was a little bit limited, but it's an alpha, so I don't know what I'm expecting. Looking forward to playing the beta. Hopefully we get invited to that one as well.
There you go. Hunt Showdown, developed by Crytek. It's in closed alpha right now. If we didn't already mention that multiple times, the sign-ups are closed as far as I'm aware, but you can sign up for the newsletter, so that is exciting. If you did sign up for the alpha, by the way, and you haven't received an invite yet, they are sending them out in batches, in waves, so you might get lucky in the next week or so. There's actually no end date. I was looking, I couldn't find an end date for the alpha, so it's just going on in perpetuum
They're
for a little bit.
continually patching it as well.
Yeah, they are.
Feedback.
Still working on it. So yeah, bottom line, you might, if you've signed up and you haven't heard anything, you might still hear something in the future, so keep an eye out for that. Currently no release date for the game at all. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.